1. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's take a look at question 26. And that was nice because guess what? That's one of the few problems I haven't done yet. All right, so let's take a look at, please take a look at question 26. It's up to you, honestly. Yeah, so don't worry about it. All right. So here we go. Now on 26, we're doing a substitution. So does everybody agree the easiest way to do the substitution is by substituting in from the second equation? Does everybody understand that? Yeah. In other words, what do I need to do? I need to move the negative 2x to the other side. Does everybody agree with that? Yes. And so it becomes, hold on a second, it becomes y equals 2x minus 3. Any objections to that? You good? Now, wherever I see a y, I can put what?
2x minus 3.
So here we go. 6x plus 4, open parentheses. 2x minus 3 equals 16. Put it up now, okay? Anybody having issues with that? You good asking? All right, so here we go. So now when I distribute 6x plus 8x minus 12 equals 16.
I got this when I did it yesterday. I just don't think I got the other.
So now I have x equals 2. So now that I know x equals 2, I come up here and I plug 2 in. All right? So when I do that, I get y equals 2 times 2 minus 3. Y equals 4 minus 3, so y is equal to what? 1. Which is what? 2 comma 1. All right? Yes, sir.
Can we practice this once on the calculator?
Now, the next thing is, if you need help on the calculator, now's the time to do that. All right? So here we go. Pull out your calculator. On your calculator now, stay with me. Does everybody agree y1 is 2x minus 3? Is everybody happy with that?
Yes.
All right. Walker, you good? Yes. So please type in under y1 2x minus 3. Then what I need you to do is I'm going to write down this equation, 6x plus 4y equals 16. And Walker, you with me now? I got to solve it for y, right? Now again, guys, please listen to what I'm saying. Please listen to what I'm saying. All right? I need you to solve for y, and it should be quick. So I want you to say, I'm going to just go ahead and write y2. I have to move the 6x over. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So it's going to be 16 minus 6x, and then divide it by 4. If you can do that, you're in pretty good shape. If you can do that, you're in pretty good shape. So now, graph 2x minus 3, and then graph parentheses 16 minus 6x, close parentheses, divided by 4, and then second, calc, 5, enter, 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 and it spits out the answer.
1.
Is everybody agreeing with that? Now, everybody should be able to use their calculator now pretty good. All right, does anybody have any issues with their calculator? Walker, did that help you?
Yes.
All good? All right, anybody else have a question with their calculator? Yes, sir.
I got 75.
That just means you didn't type it in correctly, buddy. So under Y1, go back to Y1. Did you type it in? Yep. All right. Anybody else? Guys? Yes, sir. What?
I have another question on different problem.
Which one?
24.
All right, let's take a quick look at 24. All right, let me create a little space here for you. All right. Hey, listen, guys, I need your attention, though, guys. All right, I want to help, okay? So please, quiet. All right, and let me take care of 24, please. All right. Now, for question number 24, do you see what I did right off the bat, right? You have to find the one that can be solved for a particular variable. Do you agree with me?
So that'll be y.
Yep. So we're going to say, very smart, we're going to say y is equal to negative 7x plus 4. Do you agree with that or not? Now, you see this right here. Now I'm going to, wherever I see a y, I'm going to put what? Right. So here we go. So 3x minus 4, open parentheses, negative 7x plus 4, close parentheses, equals 15.
I understood this part except for the last part. Then I got something weird.
Well, just let me go ahead and get through this. All right. Well, if you understand this, you're just having trouble substituting in for x. All right. Let's just follow along and make sure you're good. So 3x plus 28x minus 16 equals 15. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So it looks to me like I have 31x is equal to 31.
Okay, I don't know what I did.
Well, do you have trouble with 3 plus 28?
I think I did the wrong problem, but it's all the wrong one for y.
Yeah, so now do you understand which one you're looking for, though? Do you hear me?
Yeah, the one that only has
A single y. The coefficient is a 1.
And if it's only a single x, then you solve for x.
You solve for x. All right, now if I plug 1 in, the y value will be what? Negative 3. All right. Anybody have any more questions or concerns? I really have to get started with today.
This isn't a question, but it's just to remind everyone, like the question we had yesterday, 5 equals 25, you can reduce
That is correct. Thank you, Walter. Whenever you look at an equation and you can divide, it's much better to do that. Simplifies the process. All right? So, now look, guys, again, any questions? Any questions? I don't think that's that hard. All right, today you're going to be amazed. Today's pretty easy also. All right? So what I want to do now is, does everybody pull up the elimination method is what it's called. All right, so I want everybody to pull up the elimination method. All right. Stay with me, please. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right, now look how easy. Look. All right, when you're solving this, eyes up, please. I would want everybody in here to say the answer is -2, 4. Everybody should be able to look at that and say the answer. Right? That was easy, right? Everybody got that, right?
No.
All right, so let me show you how simple. All right, very easy. All right, look up, please. Because if I can do it mentally, then it must be super easy. All right, so now watch how simple. All right, the difference between yesterday and today is that sometimes it's not set up as a substitution. It's called set up as an elimination. All right, so what does that mean? If I were to add these together, what would happen to the 4x and the -4x? Cancel, which is our objective. Remember, our objective is to try to eliminate a variable. So when I add those together, I get -7y is equal to -28. Everybody see that? Everybody hearing me?
Yeah.
And so now I know that y must be what?
4.
I know that y must be 4. And now that I know y is 4, I'm looking at the first and I'm plugging it into the first one because that's just the easiest one. If I plug it into the second one, will it matter? No. So if I plug it into the first one, it will be 4x plus 8 equals 0. 4x equals negative 8, so x is equal to what? X is equal to what? Wow. Negative 2 comma 4. Negative 2 comma 4. Is everybody hearing me? That makes perfectly good sense, right? Now, of course, we have our calculator, so we're going to verify everything on the calculator because I want you to be experts at your calculator. All right? So in order to be an expert at the calculator, here's what I need for you to do. All right? I'm going to write it down here. 4x plus 2y equals 0. And we're just going to say 2y equals negative 4x, right? So y is equal to negative 2x. Everybody happy with that? Everybody good? All right, now I'm going to take the next equation. I'm just going to write it down again. Negative 4x minus 9y equals negative 28. Now, of course, if it were me, I would just do what to the negatives? I would just change them to positives because I don't want to make a mistake. Is everybody hearing me?
Yes.
Right, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to put plus, plus, and plus. All right, now I don't have all those negatives. Does everybody agree? All right, so now this was y1, so this one down here is going to be what?
Y2.
This one's going to be y2. Now, again, if you can't say this, you're behind. If you can't say this, you're behind. All right, so y2 is equal to what? 28.
Minus 4x divided by 9.
Yes, everybody needs to be able to say that. It's 28 minus 4x in parentheses. Then you're going to divide that by 9. And you're typing that in under y2. And now you're going to hit graph. And then you're going to go second calc, intersection, enter, enter, enter. And you're going to tell me that answer is what, obviously. All right, of course we're right, but we want to verify. Negative 2 comma 4. Anybody have any issues? Anybody have any issues? Nobody? Good, good. What happened to these two? 4x and negative 4x. They cancel. No, it's 2y and negative 9y, which is what? Right? And then 0 and negative 28 makes negative 28. Yes, sir.
Isn't it turning all into positives on the y2? So it doesn't like affect anything?
No, you want me to show you why real quick? All right, here's why. Look up, please. Look up, look up, look up. Now, I always apply things to basic, and then I apply them to complex. All right, so let me show you what this means. If I said to you, negative 1 minus 2 equals negative 3, you would say that's what?
Right.
That's true, right? So if I change the signs, it's still a true statement. Just like if I multiply everything by 2, 2 plus 4 equals 6. Still a true statement. That's what we're saying. As long as things are equal, if you multiply equals, you get what? Equals. All right? So that's why. Is everybody okay with that now? All right. So now what I want to do is I want to take a look now briefly at question number 3 and 5. They're kind of what I would have put further down the line, but that's okay. So I want to clear this space out. I want to shrink this down. All right. And now I want someone to notice what happens if I add these together. What happens? Not every, except for what we say the constants. So that is correct assessment. So the negative 9x and the positive 9x do what to each other? And then the 5y and the negative 5y do what to each other? So technically I'm left with 0. Technically I'm left with 0. So I would say 0 equals negative 9. Is that a true statement? That's a false statement. What do we say what was true about false statements? It would be no solution. which basically meant what was true about those two lines.
Nothing.
Yes, there is something very important about they are what? They are parallel. Thank you, girl. Very important. They are parallel lines. So if you get a contradiction, you say there is no solution. All right? If there's a contradiction, there is no solution. In other words, if the x cancels and the what? Y cancels, then it's no solution unless everything cancels out and you get 0 equals 0, which means it's all real numbers, which technically means it is the same line. All right? It's the same line. So here's where you had to listen to me. If 0 equals 0, it's the same line. If 0 equals 5, they're parallel lines. All right, that's how you tell the difference. All right, that's how you tell the difference. All right, so now let's take a quick look at number 5. Well, obviously, again, it is what? Right, because if we add these again, kind of silly, 0 equals -6, no solution. They are in fact what? They are in fact parallel lines. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to talk about number 7, even though it's no solution also. All right, but I still want to show you something, which we demonstrated earlier. Now, is it possible for me to just add these?
Yeah.
No. The reason why it's not, because nothing cancels. Your objective is to eliminate a variable. Your objective is to eliminate a variable. And if I add, I get 8x. Or if I add, I get -12y. Does everybody agree? So it was of no value to just add them. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top equation and I'm going to multiply it by -1. Now, why did I multiply by -1? That will make it cancel, right? So I'm going to put, when I multiply by -1, I'm going to make that -4x plus 6y equals what? 10. Does everybody agree with that now? All right. Now what happens? I draw my line underneath it. And again, it just came out to be 0 equals what?
-4.
Which means there is no solution. And don't forget it's parallel lines. Yep. All right. So now let's talk about question number 9. Yes. -1 times -10.
Oh.
You see that or not? All right. Good job. All right. Now let's take a look at number 9. Can I just add these down?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The answer is obviously what? No. I cannot add them because they are not going to cancel. If I add them, I get -2x. And then I would get -y. So I can't add them. I have to multiply the top by what? I have to multiply the top by -1. All right? And if I multiply the top by -1, I end up with x plus 5y -28. And now when I add 9y -45.
Y equals 5. -5.
So now we would say y equals -5. Everybody have to, yeah, just plug it into one of the equations. Does it matter which one? No, so you're trying to pick out the easiest one. And there's no real easy one, I guess. So we'll do the top one. So it says, now please pay attention. -x minus 5 times what? -5 equals 28. -x, what? Plus 25 equals 28, right? So -x equals, so x equals -3. So what's my answer? Beautiful. -3, -5. All right. Now, here, listen carefully now. Listen, please. The last thing I want to talk to you about right now is I need to now check it with my calculator. All right, I'm going to check it with my calculator. And actually, I'm going to go back and check the other one with my calculator also. All right, so here's number 9. All right, here we go. Number 9, I'm going to have y1 equals. Now, here's y1 right here, so I'm going to highlight it for you. All right, now, changing the signs doesn't really help this one, right? Because there's still some negative, right? So again, I would like everybody to be able to tell me that y1 is equal to parentheses. Wait a minute. 28, then what? Plus x, then what? That's what you have to do. You're not going to be able to do it unless you do it on your own. Right? It doesn't do any good to write it down. You should have it down on your paper. You say, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, he's right again. That's what you should be saying. All right? So now, y2. Here we go. y2 is, wait, let me go highlight the next one before I confuse myself. y2 right here. All right, so for y2, somebody tell me.
17 plus x divided by 1.
Beautiful. Now if we could get together, it would sound really nice. That was close. All right, so now please, everybody type that in on the calculator. All right, make sure you type it in correctly. And then double check yourself. And then it says what? All right, we are awesome, as usual. All right, so now what I want to do now, listen to me, is I'm going to go back up and we're going to sub in for number 7 just for practice, especially for Walker. Just for you, Walker. Isn't this what you wanted earlier, right? All right, so we're doing it just for you. You're welcome. All right, so here we go. I'm highlighting that guy. And let me get together here. Hold on. y1 equals what?
Negative 10 minus 4x divided by negative 6. Literally 2 people said stuff.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Y2.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, can't wait to get Zoe involved here. All right, Zoe, lead the charge. Hold on. Shh. Ready? Don't mess this up, as usual.
Y2 equals negative 14 minus 4x close parentheses divided by negative 6.
Yay.
Let's go, Zoe. You stuttered.
All right.
I heard that.
Here we go. Next. Everybody type in y1, type in y2, and then you hit second calc 5. Enter, 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 and it should come up with
Parallel lines.
syntax error. That's correct. The reason why it is a syntax error is because the calculator is trying to do something that it what? It can't because they are
Parallel.
It's not smart enough. Very good. If you look at the graph, hit graph and at least look at it.
They're parallel.
And they are what?
Parallel.
They are parallel. So don't outsmart your calculator. All right? Or I should say, outsmart your calculator.
Even if I put in my graph still, I press on the screen it changes.
What is wrong with your calculator?
It's too dumb.
Syntax error just generally means instead of a minus, you put in a negative. Yeah, that's all right. Now, hey, listen up, guys. So here is what you are responsible for. Shh. No, we got a nice little easy day. All right. Please, your job is tonight to do 2 through 10. All right. Now, listen. The only problem is with doing 2 through 10 is this. For these particular problems, I also want you to type them in on the calculator, double check your work. Is everybody hearing me? You're practicing with the calculator. All right, make sure you know how to do that. Yes, sir. Absolutely. You're going to make 100. All right. But you're still going to show me all your work. But you verify your work using the calculator. It's going to be 100.
Thank you.
All right.
Don't leave me. He's not less.